is Rosy, a woman behind the mic. நான் என்ன வேலை பண்ண சொன்னா
நீ என்ன வேலை பண்ணிருக்க அது trust me, if you're a woman you have a lot of attitude. நிறைய ஆண் மகன்கள் அங்க வந்து நாங்களும் பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோம், ஆனா எங்க பேச்சு யாருங்க கேக்குறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க.
When you talk about the attitude, people always frame me like an attitude girl. You have to be very, very authentic when you're giving the training to people. It is not a joke. And
Attitude matters too, right?
of course, yes.
And you were about to say something, did I cut you off?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, when you talk about the attitude, people always frame me like an attitude girl.
Oh yeah. அது trust me, if you're a woman you have a lot of attitude. அதுதான் வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்டா எவ்ரிபடி இல்லையோ அவ பொம்பளைன்ற திமிர்ல ஆடிட்டு இருக்கா அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அது அந்த டேர்மே எனக்கு புரியாது actually.
Many people have framed me that way, that I'm an attitude girl. No, I'm not. You have not seen the other side of mine. Had you connected with me or had a conversation with me, the story is entirely different.
Yes.
And I talk only when there is a need. I don't talk unnecessarily.
And that is like an attitude actually for them, because they cannot take strong personalities. So when we were talking earlier, personality matters a lot too, and you also train people in their personality development, right? So do you feel communication and personality goes hand in hand, or is it two different things?
See, when I train people, I train on concepts called A, B, C, D, E, F.
Okay.
It's the appearance, behavior, communication, your digital identity, your emotional balance, and F is on feedbacks.
Okay.
How many of them are ready to receive feedbacks? Be it a manager, be it anybody for the matter. How many of you are open enough to get a feedback?
நாங்கள் அப்ரிசியேஷன் மட்டும்தான் வாங்குவோம், ஃபீட்பேக்லாம் வாங்க மாட்டோம் நாங்கள்.
If you don't receive a feedback, how will you grow?
Yes. Yes.
You need someone to tell on your face like you're bad at it.
But do you think the way they tell that will also...
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
We teach them on how to give feedback. See, here you cannot play based on your title. You need to speak as a leader,
Okay.
where you can talk in such a way that people are ready to open enough to take the feedback from you. I always say 80-20. 80% is positive. Talk about all the good things about that person.
Okay.
By the time he's glued to the seat to listen to whatever you're going to talk about. And then that next 20% comes, it is the work area. I wouldn't say it's negative. It's the work area that you can improve.
Okay.
This is how we always tell the leaders to go ahead and give feedback.
Okay. So, இப்போ maybe I'll ask you in this way, okay? You must have had a lot of experience in this. இப்போ there is a candidate where you'll have to give a feedback to, okay? And the candidate is really good in everything, but அவங்களோட temperament is way huge that அவங்களால வந்து மற்றவங்க கிட்ட வந்து அதை கம்யூனிகேட்டே பண்ண முடியாத அளவுக்கு temperament நிறைய இருக்குன்னா, how will you convey that to that person?
Okay, now I need to figure out why the temperament is coming from. Why the temper issue is coming from. Is it something to do with the personal thing or something to do with the professional thing? And on the other hand, now if I'm going to say you need to work on your anger, he's going to even more get triggered.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that at all. All I would say is, whatever positive, what all the works that you've been doing, and at the same time, I will also say like, it would be really nice if you can work on your anger,
Okay.
which would pave way for others to reach you. It will make you more approachable, so you can solve many problems. See, this anger, I wouldn't say it is a bad thing. Sometimes some leaders get anger because the work is not done on time. So the time is the problem.
Yes.
You understand? So when you go dig down to find out where is the trigger, where is that anger is coming from, you will be able to solve the case. And in order to find the root cause, you need to ask a lot of questions.
You'll have to connect
Definitely, yes.
with the person, yes. And you actually do training not only for the employees of an organization but also to the middle level and top level management.
Yes.
How is it any different?
See, anybody for the matter, whether I'm training a managing director or a CEO, CFOs of an
But they actually come with an
organization,
ego thing, right? That is what I'm talking about.
I will never touch their ego part.
Okay.
Please have your ego with you.
Okay.
I'll never touch that ego part at all because they are self-made. They've built an empire for themselves with the due respect for the sacrifice that they have done and everything. They are there in that level. I look up to them.
Right.
You understand? But I will still be a devil's advocate and tell you, come on, sir. Can this be changed? It'll be good. I'll tell you. What are the things that is possible that I could change?
If any employees are giving any areas of construction, to the top management, how will you even convey that to them?
Anonymous thing helps me here.
helps. Anonymous everywhere. Okay.
We get that consolidated report.
Okay.
It is a feedback for the organization and it is not feedback for the individual.
Okay.
So I take a consolidated report of the feedback from every individual, whoever wants to share anything, I give it as a consolidated report to the organization. You don't have to know who it is, but this is something that you need to work on if you have to scale up to the next level in your organization.
Okay.
That is how I give the feedback. And again, I know whether that is a real feedback or a personal feedback also.
எனக்கு லீவ் தர மாட்டாருங்க, லீவ் அப்ரூவ் பண்ண மாட்டாரு.
நீ மாசத்துல 6 நாள் லீவ் எடுத்துட்டு then லீவ் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. If you say that way, that is not something that I can take it, right?
Yes.
So I need to do that validation also on the feedback and then tell them like there are certain things. If it is going to be policies and procedures, I'll strictly tell them there's something that I can never do anything about it. Because it is that organizational policies and procedures, I'm not touching that. But if it has got anything to do with the behavior,
Okay.
if it has got anything to do with the leadership style or a communication style, then I can pitch in and tell them, okay, probably this needs a change.
Okay. Speaking of that, even you've done your POSH certification,
Yes.
right? இந்த பாஷ்ங்கிறது பொண்ணுங்களுக்கு மட்டும்தானா, இல்லை பசங்களுக்கும்? ஏன் நிறைய ஆண்மகன்கள் அங்கே வந்து நாங்களும் பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோம், ஆனால் எங்கள் பேச்சு யாருங்க கேட்குறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க அவங்களோட.
See, again, I don't want to categorize as men and women. Abuse is common for men as well as women. It's just that in our society, the men abuse isn't spoken big. Only the women abuse is spoken big. If you ask me whether I've been abused, yes, I have been abused. In an organization that has POSH committee, yes, I have been abused. But did I have the courage to go and tell them no?
No.
That's a problem with me. That has got nothing to do with my organization.
Yes.
There is someone who is looking at me and saying, I don't see any speed breaker in your body.
Oh, okay. Took a while for me to understand. Okay.
Yeah. And that is a very, very bad comment that you can give it to a woman.
Yeah, even casually, it doesn't suit. Yeah.
So now I have all the rights to go ahead and raise a POSH against that person. But did I do it? No, I didn't.
You could have taken it.
And most of the time, several organizations have this learning portal. So the mandatory trainings, everything has become in an e-learning portal, and people will not know whether Nisha is doing it for me or Rosy is doing for herself.
Okay.
Then where will the learning come from?
It's just that, you'll just have to pick one answer,
Yes.
submit.
If I've completed it, I'll give you the answer, you
Answers,
mark
yeah.
it. Every corporate has this. So if you really want people to understand the sensitivity and the seriousness of this issue, there has to be a real training.
Yes. And you go about training employees?
Yes.
For the POSH training, is it?
Yes.
Okay. So I was actually thinking that you will train the management for the POSH training.
No, there are certain levels that you do in the POSH as well, like organizing an internal committee and things like that. But the main POSH committee POSH training is for the employees to go ahead and voice it out to the organization about anything that is going apart from their work procedures or policies, things like that. They have to voice it out.
But I also feel that the more we talk about women empowerment, there are also a lot of women who play this women card very easily. to get anybody into trouble or just to put them out of any trouble. So how do you see that?
My training is always gender free. I always train people to be true to themselves. If you're true to yourself, whether you are a male or a female, that doesn't matter at all.
Right.
And agreeing to your point where you said, like, no, yes, the woman does play the card, but in a longer run, how will it feel for you? Won't you feel guilty? Obviously, you will feel, you will fetch all the backlashes that will happen beyond what you've complained or what you've raised. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Say the truth as it is.
So yes, Rosy, you must have trained a lot of people. So these individuals, they believed you, they trusted you. நீங்க ஒரு quotation கொடுத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, more than the quotation, they believed in you and they joined your consulting. ஸோ இப்போது சில பேர் வந்து கொட்டேஷன் கேட்டு நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி எதுவுமே சொல்லாமல் போயிடுவாங்க. அப்படி சொல்லாமல் போயிடுவாங்க ஒரு 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 கேட்டகரினா, இப்படி வந்துட்டு எனக்கு இது வேண்டாம் அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன மாதிரிலாம் சொல்லி அதை ரிஜெக்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க?
Okay, people will not be ready to invest, especially in improving their skill set. That I see as a very lacking area in many people right now. They want magic to happen. I am not here as a magician to go ahead and bring in a change. It is a behavior, it is a habit that is rooted in you for several years and decades together. I cannot change that in one night. So you cannot expect any magical transformation immediately. But you will definitely witness the real transformation in a given time. Yes. That is how I go about training. So people, when they are wanting to invest, it is always, training is all about return on investment. If you're making an investment, you need to get a returns out of it.
Correct.
So how I tell people, I usually tell people, or maybe they can take this as a piece of learning from this podcast, is when you are investing on yourself, you will see the returns immediately.
Okay.
I have seen many women or men say, like, no, madam, my children's school fees are lined up, so I am not in a position to take it up right now. Any given school, the LKG or UKG fees is not going to be less than 1 lakh.
Oh, yes. LKG, UKG ஏன் மேம் போறீங்க? ப்ரீ ஸ்கூலுக்கே lakhs கணக்கில் தான் வாங்குறாங்க.
Yeah, so it is not even a less than 1 lakh. Imagine, good that you go ahead and give a good education for your children. I'm not denying it at all, but my stand here is, for your son or daughter to grow up and get that returns, it will any which ways take 18 plus years.
Yes.
By the time you would have invested few lakhs.
So many lakhs, yes.
Yeah. Now, talk about the same investment that you can do on you, witness the real transformation, make the necessary changes in your behavior, in your communication and things like that. Get noticed by your organization, you get that return in your next appraisal.
Damn true. Yes.
So
and you raise
need,
your standard of living.
Yeah. So, and you also will be able to even comfortably pay on more for your children, or you will be able to increase the standard of living. So this is how you need to say. You cannot say, like, just because it is not a magic like what I said, you cannot have a lot of doubts on you, and you cannot put yourself at the back seat. Transformation, real transformation comes at a cost.
Yes, and it's more of a quantitative analysis. இல்லையா? இப்போ ஒரு லட்ச ரூபாய் கொடுக்குறாங்க ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், அதுக்கு உடனே எல்லாரும் வந்து என்னது ரோசி 1 லட்சம் வாங்குறாங்களா அப்படின்லாம் கேட்காதீங்க. I'm just saying, for an example, if you give 1 lakh and if you're getting products worth 1 lakh, that's quantitative. You are able to see it. Like you said, it is a qualitative approach. It also requires for the other person to cooperate with you. இல்லையா? இப்போ நீங்கள் வந்து ஸ்கூல் டீச்சர் கிடையாது, நாங்கள் நடத்தினாலும் இல்லைனாலும் நான் சிலபஸை முடிச்சுட்டு போகணும் அப்படிங்கிறது. You will have to understand them, and they'll have to put some work on that as well. இப்போ அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய பேர் கோஆப்ரேட்டிவாக இல்லாமல் சில பேர்லாம் இருந்திருப்பாங்க. அவங்களெல்லாம் எப்படி டீல் பண்ணி இவங்களை முடிச்சு விட்டா போதுன்ற மாதிரி இருக்குமா இல்லைன்னா?
I have never felt that in any of my training or any of my clients at all.
Okay.
Yes, there were people who are rebellious and they don't want to undergo that coaching. It is going to be really difficult for people because I want them to come out of the comfort zone and get uncomfortable first. So being in an uncomfortable zone it is not how your brain is formed to work. Brain always wants safety. Brain always wants comfort zone. It is not going to allow you to go ahead and do anything that is out of your comfort zone. So it will give you 1,001 excuses for you to stay in that particular area. And if you're going to choose to be in that place for a very longer period, you're not going to grow.
Yes.
You understand? So that is how I go about giving the transformation. And I did have a lot of clients. They will come to improve their English language. And when I say, let's have all the conversation in English, they will say, you're not giving me place to express in my regional language. Come on, that's not here.
You're already an expert in your regional language. Why will you even more want to glorify it?
That is not what you're here for.
Yes.
You've come here to learn English, so you need to start speaking in English and practice it with me, so that you can go out and talk confidently.
Right.
The usage of language plays a major role when you express your emotions. And if you master the art of expressing your emotions in English, you will nail it.
That is one toughest thing that we all go through, right? Because we are so trained in our mother tongue, let it be Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, eduva irundhalume, we think in that language and we try to communicate the same way, and that goes wrong. So அந்த தாட் ப்ராசஸை மாற்றுறது, I think you play a vital role in it. சில பேர்லாம் வந்து they'll be so invested in their mother tongue, it's going to take a longer time. So அந்த மாதிரி ரொம்ப longer time இருந்துச்சுன்னா, do you charge them anything extra for that extra days?
See, whatever I decide for the person, probably it's 20 days or 10 days or 3 months or 6 months or whatever course that I'm giving it. If I don't see the results, I will go at no cost.
Okay, what more do we need actually? Yes.
Because I trusted the time frame that I've calculated for you. Even if it is going to go beyond that, I go at no cost. That is how I've done so far. And people have to put themselves first.
Yes.
And people have to think in a different mindset. When I initially started my this entrepreneur journey, I never had a need to go ahead and set up a big office like how a corporate would actually look like. There was no need. Who's going to come and sit and learn? I'm training managing directors and CEOs and CFOs. They are just one click away. They just turn, they'll sit on the class, they'll finish it off, they'll move out. They don't want to waste time on the travel that they can do from one place to another. No, they are not ready for it.
Yes.
So, but the typical employee mindset is like, no, you need to have an office, you need to have a setup like this, you need to have
a whiteboard
like
marker.
this, and like, no, not necessarily.
Yes.
For any person who is moving from the employee to an entrepreneur, the first thing that they have to change is their mindset.
Okay.
You cannot see the things from your employee level and anticipate the entrepreneur level. So for all employees who I have met in a corporate, they all have big aspirations to become an entrepreneur. But all I would say is become an intrapreneur first. And then you can become an entrepreneur.
Okay. Would you care to explain the difference? Because in the கொஞ்சம் அறிவு இருக்கு அவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கும் அது.
See, intrapreneur is within that organization. You give your best. You give the 100%. You learn the in and out of how the business operates.
Right.
You don't look at the clock.
I've seen a lot of people who don't even know the background of their company. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன வேலை கொடுத்துருக்காங்களோ அதை மட்டும் நான் பண்ணிட்டு போயிடுவேன், அப்படிதான் இருக்காங்க. They don't know what is happening before or after. Yes, that's important.
So I always say, play the role of an intrapreneur first, and then you can become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
If you don't treat this organization as yours, you will not be able to go ahead and do a justice to your own organization.
Yes. Very true.
Not everybody comes possessing their family's business or anything. Not everybody are gifted with that. With all due respect to the people who are really blessed with that, it is fine. But if you have to become and find your own identity, you need to know the in and out about the present thing that you're actually given in your hands. Only then you will be able to do the best outside.
That's something that we all have to take away from this நினைக்கிறேன். And also I've read it somewhere, and also you've told me a lot of times, நம்ம யூஸ்வலாக வந்து we'll all say that we are like a phoenix bird. நாங்கள் வந்து பொண்ணுங்கன்னா வந்து ஃபீனிக்ஸில் கீழே இருந்து மேலே வந்து என்னென்னமோலாம் சொல்லுவோம். But you always refer women as flamingos. Why is that so?
Okay, you know the flamingos are known for their bright color, right?
அறிவில்லை மேம், எனக்கு நீங்களே
No,
சொல்கிறேன்.
the flamingo bird, usually if you see in a picture, it will be pinkish color.
ஆமாம்.
You've seen that
Yes,
pinkish
yes.
color. So the reason why I combine or compare the women with flamingo birds is because when the flamingo birds undergo this motherhood phase, okay, it gives all the nutrients to its baby to nurture it, so it turns out to be pale. So the pink is not their born color or a
Okay.
natural color. The flamingo turns out to be pink only because of the nutrients that it takes, the self-care that it takes in the food that it eats,
Okay.
the minerals that it takes and everything. That is the only thing that gives that pink in that flamingo bird.
Okay.
So during the motherhood or during the phase of nurturing the baby, it turns out to be white.
Okay.
And again, once the little one grows up and things like that, when the bird starts taking care of its own self, the color returns. This is what they say. And that is why I always say the women are like the flamingos.
Okay.
And you have options. You can either choose to stay pale that
Pale.
way, or you can choose to become more beautiful, like how you used to
Which
be.
is your own self.
Because many women come to me and tell me, I was not like this. During my college, I was a different person altogether. I used to do a lot of things. I was a very confident person. That is how they say. But now I don't see that person right now. I'm very shy. I have a lot of self-doubts. I'm very guilty with a lot of things. I don't know how to communicate with people and things like that. So all I would say is, when you put yourself at the front seat, things will fall in place.
That is very true, because back then in my college, I studied in a very reputed college, and I had a lot of friends of mine. அவங்களுக்கு வந்து talent வந்து இம்மென்ஸாக இருக்குது. They are a better dancer than I. They are a better talker than I. They talk really well. Few of my friends, I can even imagine அவங்களுக்கு இந்த opportunity கொடுத்தா they can do 1,000 times better. But now, since they are married, only because they are married and they have kids, they are not even talking to their husbands. Like, they don't even voice out to their husbands. And I'm like, dude, you used to dance really well. What happened to you? You used to talk really well. Do something. At least sit at home and do something. But then they were like, no, I'll have to take care of my children. I'll have to take care of my husband. If not, they will not eat. They will not sleep and all that thing. But I think this has to change. Because it's not going out for working. And the working மட்டும் நான் சொல்லலை. It's their inborn passion that is also missing. And that is one of the main reasons women are afraid to get married now too. How do you see this?
Okay, this thing is something that I tell all the youngsters, or especially whenever there is a workshop for teenagers or women on the 20s and 30s, I always tell them, like, if you have to talk to your partner, stop talking about the favorite color, favorite food, favorite destination, honeymoon spot and all that. Those are the things that will eventually be discussed. Talk about your passion. Talk about your goals. Talk who you want to become. Talk what is your aim in life. And talk about your financial status.
Yes.
Talk about the commitments you have. Talk about what you want to contribute to your parents. All these things. I don't think people are taking time to talk about all these information, rather than they are okay with, you like red? I like red. You like blue? I like blue. Come on.
உனக்கு பிரியாணி பிடிக்குமா? எல்லாருக்கும் தான் பிரியாணி பிடிக்கும். அது எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் இது.
So these are the practical questions, and again comes back to the communication part.
Yes.
You need to really communicate well. If you ask me, okay, probably she has a good husband and good in-laws, and that is why she's talking. No, I did an inter-religion marriage. Okay. So I did have my own challenges, but I was very clear in telling my immediate family that I love to follow my beliefs and my tradition.
And I will not disturb yours.
Yes. I was very clear in communicating. And because I chose to communicate that very clearly to them, till this time I never had any kind of a problem with them in that particular thing.
Okay, this is more like a validation, right? So, do you really think communication and validation goes hand in hand?
No, validation needs an approval.
Okay.
I am not seeking your approval here.
Okay.
I am trying to communicate that this is me.
Okay.
You have the choice to tell me, no, you shouldn't be that way, or you have to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
But here I'm here to say, like, no, this is me. There's no going back at all. So I am communicating everything clearly to you so that you understand who I am, and you will not expect anything from me. You cannot expect the typical girl who wakes up early morning, ties her hair, put that column around or things like that. No. It is not that I cannot do. It's just that I have not practiced that way. I've never been brought up that way to go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times where I used to try doing that column things like that only out of curiosity or interest or whatever you call it as.
பண்ணிதான்
But you
பாப்போமே.
call me, you ask me to do it as a routine. Sorry, boss.
Right.
I love to see those people who makes those big columns during this New Year, Pongal,
Yes.
on the streets and all. Again, talking about the culture that we have, especially with the Indian culture, we have a lot of restrictions when it comes to the marriages because of the difference in traditions that they have,
Yes.
difference in cultures that they have. The one thing that is overlooked here when it comes to relationship is the parenting. How you've been brought up and how the other person been brought up is never been spoken at all.
Yes.
Maybe there is a family where all the important decisions will be taken by the father of the house. And probably this girl would have come from a family where all the decisions were given independent. She was given a freedom to choose anything that she want. Now, if she is going to give forth her words or opinions in this particular thing, that comes as a compliance issue in the family now.
Yes, exactly. And
Because in our family, we don't follow that. We will always, you should have communicated this before getting into the relationship.
yes. Yes.
Do I have a say in anything that is decided? How do you take up long-term decisions? How do you take up the quick decisions in your family? Do I have the free will? Do I have are we discussing about all these?
நீங்கள் சொல்கிறத பார்த்தா ஒரு கொஸ்டினர் ரெடி பண்ணி வச்சிருவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பிஃபோர் யூ கெட் மேரிட் கைஸ் ப்ளீஸ் கான்டாக்ட் ரோசி அயன்குட்டி. ஷி வில் ப்ரிப்பேர் அ கொஸ்டினர் அண்ட் கிவ் யூ கைஸ். அதில் நீங்கள் அட்லீஸ்ட் இந்த 10 பொருத்தம்லாம் பார்ப்பாங்கல்ல, அட்லீஸ்ட் அதில் நீங்கள் ஒரு 10 ஆன்சராவது ஒரே மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னா தென் யூ கேன் கெட் மேரிட். நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள் மேம்.
ப்ராக்டிக்கல் தான் நான் பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன். ஸோ again all comes down to communication. I have fixed lot of marriages.
Oh, marriage counseling. Super, very good.
I have fixed a lot of marriages by doing personality development program.
Oh, okay, right.
Because of the differences that each couple has. So, it again all comes down to the soft skills. Now, there are corporates who comes and ask me like, how do we validate the training that you give us?
Oh.
I don't think you can validate. Because it is not something like what you said. It is not a
Quantitative
approach. It is a qualitative approach.
Yes.
You can definitely see some changes in it. If you can ask me what all the wow moments that I've had in my training, we were taking training for a real estate organization, and we were talking about the importance of appearance, like how you dress up has to be neat, has to be clean, and things like this. When we were teaching about it, third day I think, this one person who came and approached to me and said like, no, you know what ma'am, yesterday I went and bought 4 formal sets for me.
ஸோ ஆல் தீஸ் டேஸ் அவங்களுக்கு தெரியல ஃபார்மல்ஸ் கூட வாங்கணுங்கிறது அவங்களுக்கு இத்தனை நாள் தெரியாமல் இருந்திருக்கு.
So that one particular instance, how will you validate this now?
Unless you feel it, yes.
It's something that I have impacted in him, and he was able to accept what I have told him, and he went and invested on his outfits. And there were one instance where a person has to take up an interview in a very star hotel. Because of her appearance, she was unable to get inside the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Then it was a very, it was for a bigger role in an organization. Now we had to do an image consulting. We had to give her some kind of makeover session, change her appearance, her confidence, and everything. We just don't do body shop. We do the internal transformation. So it's inside out transformation is what I call. And I had to make all those changes, and then things changed. She got placed.
And the sad part is you really cannot even show this to another person.
Yes.
Confidentiality. So நீங்கள் வந்து இதை ஒரு டெஸ்டிமோனியலாக கூட எடுத்து நீங்கள் அதை போட முடியாது. That's one sad thing.
So when I'm training high profiles, the confidentiality is something that they trust me on.
Okay.
So just because it is not there out in the Google and reviews, that doesn't mean that I don't do it. No, I do it.
And they all go blindly by the followers.
Yes.
How many followers you have in YouTube, how many followers you have in Instagram, and I don't really understand how does it even impact.
Please have millions of followers. I have no problem with that. But don't keep that as a criteria to validate
Yes.
someone's work.
Yes.
And there was one other instances where I was training an organization where the girl used to come just very normal and things like that. And she never wears a smile in her face, and she just was very normal person. After my training and things like that, she came to me and told me, you know what, the housekeeping lady came and told me something. Do you want to hear it? I said like, no, yes, yeah. What is it? She said, every day you used to come like a patient. Nowadays I'm seeing you coming so dressed up, very presentable. It is really nice to see, ma'am. And she said it is only because of your training.
Oh, wow.
These are small changes that we can bring in people that creates a great impact.
Yes.
So when you sit at a front office, when you sit at a reception, when you sit at an organizational where you are the front face of an organization, what are the etiquettes that you have to follow? In terms of your dressing, your body language, your gestures, your eye contact, however you talk to people, everything comes into count. It's not a joke.
Yes.
So we go about bringing in all these small transformation in every individuals. That is why I always say that framework of A, B, C, D, E, F.
இதுக்கு நீங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சினாரியோ கொடுத்ததுனால ஐம் ஆஸ்கிங் யூ திஸ் as well. இப்போ nowadays organizations have become ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ஸ்னு சொல்ல முடியாது, பீப்புள் ஒர்க்கிங் ஃபார் தி ஆர்கனைசேஷன் ஹவ் மேட் இட் ரியலி. இப்போ நான் சில கம்பெனி சொன்னாலே தெல் பி லைக், ஓ அந்த கம்பெனிக்கா போயிடாதீங்க, உங்களோட வாழ்க்கையே கெட்டு போயிடும் அப்படின்லாம். ஸோ தே பிரிங் ப்ரொஃபஷ்னல் லைஃப் அண்ட் பர்சனல் லைஃப் டுகெதர். ஸோ இதை எப்படி அவாய்ட் பண்ணலான்னு நீங்கள் நினைக்கிறீங்க? அது எனக்கு தெரியும், அவங்களுக்கா சென்சஸ் வந்து பேசாமல் இருந்தால் தான் உண்டு. மற்றபடி ஹவு டு யூ ட்ரை டு கண்ட்ரோல் திஸ் ஒர்க் லைஃப் பேலன்ஸ்?
See, it is always an ask, how do you manage the work-life balance? There is nothing called work-life balance. It is all about, if your work is demanding you, someday it is 100% there and 0% at life.
Yes.
Sometimes you will be 0% at your work and you will be 100% at your life.
Yes.
So it's work-life balance always works that way, work and family. And it is all about how you can balance your priorities, your work accordingly. I'm not saying leave your family for your profession or leave your profession for your family. Both has to go hand in hand. I did have women who works for organization. They say like, no, the moment I enter home, I have lot of things in my plate. All I would say is, how do you manage that? That matters. Not all the 3 meals has to be hot.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And not all the 3 meals can be a grand meal as well.
It doesn't have to be cooked by you, especially.
And if it has to be something that has to be hot and grand, it can definitely go for a delegation. You can hire a chef who can do a better job at it.
Yes.
Yeah. So people like this needs to know how to delegate the work. Now when corporates calls us for leadership program, there were instances where they say like, no, this manager does not give the download to the person who's upcoming
right.
manager.
Because
of the fear, the insecurity that they have, they will only say like, no, I was never taught this way. You also learn the hard way. That's not the leader that this generation is wanting. So if you have to be a great leader for this century, you need to scale up.
Yes.
So there can be a lot of reviews that I can list out. What are the positive things? What are these kind of small changes that people will be able to make? Brings me joy.
Oh, yes. You, what is more satisfying than to know உங்களால தான் நான் இங்கே இந்த பொசிஷனில் இருக்கேன், உங்களால தான் நான் இப்போ சிரிக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு ரெட்ரோவில் சூர்யாவுக்கு நீங்களே ட்ரைனிங் கொடுத்துருந்துருக்கலாம் சிரிக்கிறதுக்கு. தேவையில்லாமல் என்னென்னமோலாம் பண்ணிட்டாங்க அவங்க.
I am bad with movies though. See, thing is, people have to start changing themselves for good. Change has several process, several levels also. We teach them. It's not like one go, no, you're going to change. No, that is not how it works. It has several other process, and how do you go about handling those process matters the most.
Yes. Yes.
Whenever we talk about change management, we always talk about who moved my cheese. You can see that YouTube thing. So we tell people, so change is hard. For anything for the matter, it is very, very hard. But once you do it, the fruit is going to be even more delicious.
Okay. So talking about change, women go through a lot of changes in the face. So let it be married women, unmarried women, they'll have equally phases of life in சொல்லலாம். So the major shift will happen when they become a mother. They'll be guilt tripped by everything around them, இல்லையா? So அப்படி இருக்கும்போது some people work because they had to provide to their family. That is also very crucial. Some people work because they like it. They might be in a very good position like VP இருக்கலாம், அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கலாம். They will be wanted there. ஸோ இந்த கில்ட் ட்ரிப்லேருந்து அவங்களுக்கு எப்படி வெளியில், அதுக்கு தனியாக ட்ரைனிங்னு ஏதாவது இருக்கா? பிகாஸ் ஐ சி அ லாட் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் மைண்ட் ஹூ ஆர் ரீசென்ட்லி பிகம் மதர்ஸ் அண்ட் தே ஆல்வேஸ் லைக் ஈவன் ஆஃப்டர் கோயிங் டு ஆஃபீஸ் தேல் பி லைக் அவன் என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பான்னு தெரியல, அந்த மாதிரி தேல் ஹேவ் திஸ் கில்ட் ட்ரிப், ரைட்? அதுக்கு ஏதாவது ட்ரைனிங் இருக்கா?
I've been a woman, I've been a mother.
Okay.
So imagine you're carrying a life inside you 9 whole months. And that's one person you can never remove and keep it aside just because you wanted to sleep comfortably. So day in and day out, if I can rewind back and talk about my pregnancy, I remember telling my husband like, no, this pouch I will be missing. Because that was with me that throughout. So obviously there will be a soul connect. Whenever you eat thinking about your baby. Whatever you do, you'll be cautious about the one that is inside you.
Yes.
As a mother. Now, when you have to stay away from that person, obviously no mother can trust anybody else other than her own self. So trusting them in a safe environmental itself is a very questionable factor right now in this society. Right. So that is when the woman gets that fear. The guilt is totally comes from the fear, how will the baby handle? But trust me, the mistake that I made for my daughter, I did not do for my sons.
Okay.
My daughter never used to sleep in the night at all.
Oh.
For 3 years, she gave me nightmares. Hardly she goes to bed by 1 o'clock or something, very, very late. By the time in next 3-4 hours, I'll have my cab there.
Oh, you'll have to get up and leave.
Get up and get ready as well.
Yeah.
And there is nobody around to leave the baby also. So when my son was like 6 months or so, I practiced him to sleep in the night. So that it becomes comfortable for the people who are sleeping right next to him.
Okay.
So kids will easily adopt to what you're introducing. It's just that you need to plan accordingly so that you need to make some absence even when you are present with the baby. Practice certain absence like for 1 hour, 2 hours. Don't be around the baby. Slowly do the transition. Till 6 months you're just clinging on to the baby, and the next day you go out, obviously you will also miss, the baby will also miss.
Yes.
As I was talking about the guilt-tripped mothers, see, the transition has to be a planning phase. You need to get that
Slow
time with the
down.
baby. You need to get away with the baby so that the baby gets accommodated. Okay, mommy will not be around this time. And they will get used to that. If you're like what I was saying, if you're clinging to the baby like 24/7 until you go for the work the very next day, it's going to be difficult for you as well as for the baby.
Yes.
So the planning has to work right from the, if your maternity leave is 6 months or 9 months or whatever you call it as, take 1 month exactly in preparing the baby mentally.
Okay.
So you will also be getting trained at that time, and the baby will also get trained during this time.
ஓகே ஸோ ஓப்பனாக சொல்ல போனால் அந்த சின்ன வயசுலேயே நீங்கள் அப்படியே ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணி பண்ணி வளருங்க. ஃப்ரம் டே ஒன் யூ ஸ்டார்ட் த ப்ராக்டிஸ்.
It is all about what you give to the baby is what it starts eating.
Yes.
It's not going to start any kind of a preferences
Yes.
at the very beginning stage.
Yes. Yes.
It all eventually forms because you did not introduce that food to the baby. It chose to ignore those food. So that is how the transition will also happen. So anybody for the matter, when there is a transition, it is not only for the mother who is getting into the work, it is also for a team leader who is elevating to a manager level also.
Yes.
Transition
Yes.
phase.
Yes.
I have heard many people like corporates who takes up the individual session says like, I've been a team leader till yesterday, and today I'm moving up the ladder as a manager,
Okay.
and they're not respecting me.
Yeah. That is one big scenario. Yes.
Because I was there with them till yesterday. I was like going for smoke, I was having my tea, I was sharing my lunch. It doesn't mean that if you become a manager you don't do all that. You can still do it, but provided you need to know how
Your
to
boundaries.
get the work
Okay.
done through them.
Right. Right.
If you're not confident in you managing them, they will never be listening to you. So that is how the transition phase works for any mothers. You don't have to be guilt tripped. The baby is going to be obviously on a safe environment. It all depends on the culture, the tradition, or the availability of the people around you, or whatever you call it as, or a trustworthy nanny. Now the technology has improved.
Yes,
I had an
CCTV.
employee who had preteens in her home, and she used to come early to work.
Okay.
She used to have that CCTV footages in her home so that she can monitor whether they are going on time to school and whether they're getting ready and things like that. If not, she'll call them and say like, no, it is time for your bus, get ready, things like that. Technology has improved to a greater
Even
extent.
intercom is there where you can even talk over that CCTV. Yes.
So that is how it is all about preparing a person, preparing them mentally for the absence during your presence. I did this to my daughter. When I had to go back to work, it was only a 3 months phase. And the reason why I said like I did not increase my sabbatical or increase my holidays, though I had a normal delivery, I had to undergo an appendicitis surgery in the 3 months phase.
Right after your birth, the
Yes,
delivery. Okay.
delivery. But still I did not have that as an excuse to extend my leave. I reported back.
Okay.
So it is all here in the mindset that if I have to do it, I will be able to do it.
Yes.
If I decided, no, it is going to be hard, it is going to be even more harder than you think.
Right. Okay.
So for all the women who are taking up the sabbatical or who are taking up a long break, career break or anything, before you enrich yourself or enhance yourself with all the necessary skill set to get into the workforce, build your skill set around these kind of interpersonal skills. On your confidence, on your time management, about managing your stress, about handling people, handling your managers, voicing out, learning to say no, all those factors. You have to equip yourself. You cannot say like, no, I'm just going to go do a coding and this is not going to help me at all. No. For any work, this interpersonal skills is what sets you apart as a human from the animals.
Oh, that's nice. So, since we're talking about a lot of corporate etiquettes, நான் வந்து எனக்கு அறிவு கெட்டின அளவுக்கு questions நான் வந்து சிலது கேட்குறேன் because I have also worked in corporate for at least a decade. So, I will ask you a few questions upon my experience and my friends, colleagues' experience. அது நீங்கள் வந்து எப்படி பெட்டராக பண்ணலாம் இல்லை பண்ணலாமா வேணாமா அப்படிங்கிறது நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள். Okay. So, I have the skills to what it takes to apply for the job. But I don't have experience. So I'm going to exaggerate my resume. How do you see that?
Okay, so you can exaggerate your resume there's no problem in that, but how will you perform there? You can put everything. I have seen many exaggerated resume where people will not even have the basic of the interpersonal skills. They'll say, I'm a team player and I'm a quick learner. I love to take feedbacks and whatnot and so on. They go about exaggerating the resume, but for what joy? Your resume might look appealing, that's all. But you will be the one who will have that struggle when people are going to hire you for that particular role based on the skill set that you have given it. I will say, write what you know. You don't have to give the exaggerated things in the resume at all. Maybe if you like it, create one and keep it for yourself so that you'll feel happy.
You'll feel happy for it.
You'll feel happy looking at it. But all I would say is, just because you said this right now, when you know that your resume requires an exaggeration to mention all those skill set, why can't you go and develop those?
If you want to have it developed, contact Radical Image Consulting.
So,
Yes.
when you know that those things will add value to you, build those skills.
Right. Right. Wonderful.
That makes win-win for both, right?
Very true. So I am a person, so I was a manager in my previous company. Okay. But here I've been hired for a team leader position. So I know everything. Why will I undergo the training again? I'll just skip the training.
Okay. There are certain mandatory things, norms that has to be followed in an organization. Now my question is, why did you accept a team leader role when you've already been a manager?
Desperate.
See, there can be several reasons.
Yes.
Maybe the organization is your dream company that you wanted to take up that role. Or it could be some kind of a need that you've been on a break, or you were waiting for a job for a longer period. So you're okay to go ahead and fit in anything that comes in your way. The reasons can be anything. But actually, to talk about my own experience, like what I said, when I underwent that medical issues and I had to continue back to work, and then I decided to quit the job, I wanted a change in my shift timing.
Okay.
Okay, this is something that out of my real experience. So what I did was, I went ahead and accepted the offer, which is way too less than what I was earning before.
Okay.
I didn't have that knowledge that I can negotiate and tell them that this is my experience and there is no going back on the salary part at all. And just because I took up that hit on my salary, it was very hard for me to gear up with the next organization.
Okay.
So here you have to decide whether the title is important or the package is important. Now, if you ask me why should I undergo all these training, is because it is mandate. You don't have a choice there. There are certain things that you have to oblige to the company things that this has to be done. Yes, it has to be done. And I would always say, like, whether you know everything or not, when you go with an open minded, you will at least have one key takeaway from there any day.
Any day. Yes. True.
I always tell people, like, I'm ready to learn from a 5-year-old to a 70-year-old, because everybody comes from a different experience.
Yes.
And I'm very happy to go ahead and learn from anyone.
Yes. Yes. True.
So it all depends on the title that you wanted to take.
Yes, great. So I am an easygoing person. So all my colleagues are my friends. They know everything about me. And the next day, if I come to the office, if I don't come to the office, they all come to my வீட்டுக்கு வந்து எல்லாருமே வந்து they'll all be a part of my good things and bad things. So we're very, very close. So it's okay to share my phone number, Instagram ID, my social media page, go on vacations with them. How do you see that?
It is okay to go ahead and do it, provided you don't cry later.
Okay. So do you actually feel that all the colleagues are very good friends? Like all colleagues can be good friends?
I will always say there has to be boundaries when it comes to work. Keep your professional connection professional. I probably found my life partner when I was working in an organization only. That is entirely different. But what I am saying is, keep your professional life with professional boundaries.
Okay.
And for a people who really want to fly high, you have to let go of lot people.
Okay.
I have seen from my life where I was swamped with lot people around me. And now if I go back and look, I don't have anyone around me.
Right.
Hardly I can count one or two. And even those one or two, even if I'm not contacting them or not talking to them, they are still okay to go ahead and pick up the call and start the conversation like they were talking to me yesterday. So those kind of understanding is what you will have in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot be a clown to everybody and make them laugh, and I was one before. I choose not to be one now. So if you say that I want to be in the good books of everyone, that comes with a lot of investment of time, because relationship is not built in one day.
Yes.
There has to be a lot of investment of time, probably on money, probably on lot other compromises, sacrifices that you have to do to build the trust and the relationship with each and every single person.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, like, keep your professional boundaries intact.
Okay.
Not everyone are your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not necessary that you have to find only a friend from your workplace. But you can yet maintain a beautiful, harmonious relationship with your colleagues.
Beautiful, harmonious relationship.
Healthy
Healthy
relationship.
relationship. Okay.
I cannot be an angel to everyone. I say this to everyone. So today Nisha might like me, tomorrow Nisha might not like me. That doesn't mean that, okay, I did fitted in her ring once upon a time. That doesn't mean that I have to be the same way.
Okay.
And now these people are like so much towards the followers, fan base, influences, and things like that. How are you enjoying when you go back to sleep? Don't you feel exhausted?
We all live digitally nowadays.
You'll feel exhausted because you have invested so much.
Yes.
So, whenever you find any kind of a people, you wanted to make a meaningful relationship, keep it very professional.
Okay.
And that saves you in lot aspects.
Mm-hmm. Professional aspect it is.
Yes.
So not all your friends are your
Yes.
can be your colleagues, or not all the colleagues can be your friends. Yes.
Yes.
So next one, I am a HR, and my boyfriend is working in the company. Okay, and I'm gonna tweak all the rules and regulations just to make him go to the next level. How do you see this?
You don't fit to be in the HR role at all. HR is a common policy and procedure making in the organization, and forgetting the fact that HR is also an employee of an organization. They are not the decision maker. I think many HRs forget the matter
Yes,
that they are
yes.
an employee still.
Yes, yes.
Just because they've been given the major role of taking up the people, onboarding people, and things like that, that doesn't make that you are a decision maker there. You are still an employee of an organization. Yeah. So if you have to make some changes according to your boyfriend needs, then probably start your own company. And probably make him sit as a CEO also. Who's going to bother?
Oh yeah, nobody's gonna bother about that company actually. So the same way, like I need a promotion very desperately. I'm a woman, I need a promotion, and my manager has given me an offer where if I go on a coffee date with him, he's gonna give me the promotion. What do I do now?
It is a choice that you want to make. Do you really need a promotion that way?
Okay.
Then don't complain about it later. If you want a respect, then go with that. If you don't want respect and you're okay to go ahead and try out anything that comes in your way, I don't think that is an ethics, first of all.
Very
And you
true.
don't need a promotion that way. If for a person who is desperate about the promotion, work on your skills. There are definitely doors that will open only based on your skill set.
Okay.
You don't have to try out all those all those cheap things in order to climb the ladder. And that is not going to work on a very longer run as well. So it is better you keep this way. And if your manager is asking for a coffee date, you have a POSH to comply.
Okay. And you have a trainer to actually get trained from too.
Yeah. So you need to know your boundaries and your limitations. And these kind of things is not how you have to climb the ladder. So your skills, if you're improving your skill set, if you're learning a lot of new things, learning a lot of certifications and things like that, if you're showing it in your work, that will definitely find its way. You don't have to ask at all. It will find its way and come to you. That is how I believe, and that is how I have experienced and heard it from my client as well. I am not a trainer who teaches the shortcuts.
Right. This is the next question is going to be very, very sensitive. நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து அது வந்து ஒரு ட்ரிகரிங் பாயிண்ட்டாக கூட இருக்கலாம். So it's okay to gossip about another employee because he is my friend. I know what he's gone through. And இப்போ வந்து just because he's become a team leader, it doesn't mean that he's not my friend. ஸோ சின்ன வயசில் அவன் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்கான் தெரியுமா, அதெல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்கான் தெரியுமா, எத்தனை பொண்ணோட போயிருக்கான்னு தெரியுமா, இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு தெரியும் அப்படின்னு சில பேர் சொல்லி சுற்றிட்டு இருப்பாங்க இல்லையா, அவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் என்ன சொல்ல நினைக்கிறீங்க?
Gossiping is not a good habit at all. Today, if you're lending your ears to listen to somebody's gossip, be ready to be a topic of gossip in somebody's life.
Yes.
So gossip is not something that you can actually go about. And as a coach here, as a trainer, as a mentor, confidentiality is crucial. And not everyone can earn that trust. And when someone is trusting you and telling you certain information, that doesn't mean that you need to go and say it out. If they wanted to be, if they wanted to say this out, they could have done it on their own. They don't need you to go ahead and do that work, right? So when they have trusted you on that particular factor, it is good that you go ahead and trust them and maintain that secrecy.
Okay.
You understand? And talking about people's flaw, everybody makes mistakes.
Yes.
Just because a person has changed for good right now, you can't still keep digging the old past and keep validating the person. I know you're a person like this. You are a person who would want to be this way only. So I cannot see you in that light. Then you have to change. Everyone makes mistake. But are you ready to correct that and move forward? And all I would say is, when you wanted to move forward, leave all those friendships that you had. So that you will be able to make a different set of friendship who align with your thought process, with your goals, with your ambitions. And it will definitely be uncomfortable only, yet it is fruitful. It is worth.
Right. So better don't have friends who are very close to you, work in your same office. So it's okay to watch internet, it's okay to watch YouTube in my office laptop or in my office computer, because that's my free time and I can do whatever I want.
You're not paid for that.
Okay.
You've paid for 9 hours of productivity. So had there been a software that's installed in your given PC or a laptop and that shows 3 hours of YouTube, are you ready for a pay cut of 3 hours?
அது எப்படி? நாங்கள் அதை பண்ண மாட்டோம்.
Honestly speaking, nobody is productive all the 9 hours of their work.
Yes.
Depends on the project or depends on the services that they involve in. There might be days where they have to go extra as well, and there might be days where they have to go bare minimal. But how are you going to utilize those times makes you a leader.
Yes.
Now that there are a lot of entertainment things in the companies like Carrom Board Corner, you
Yes,
have this
yes.
corner, that corner. So people spend more time there and they will take the work back to home and call themselves as busy. Hello, what were you doing during your working hours?
Yes. And they'll want to work extra hours. Yes.
And that doesn't mean that you are busy, right? So you have to understand that how you are managing your time in the given work hours, how are you working?
Okay.
Not everyone will be productive all the 9 hours. I can write and give.
ரைட். அப்படியெல்லாம் ப்ரொடக்டிவாக இருந்தால் நம்ம இந்தியா எங்கேயோ போயிருந்துருக்கோமே. ரைட். ஸோ on the contrary, I'm a very, very reserved person. I don't like to talk with anybody apart from my clients and customers. I'll just come, do my work, clock in my 9 hours, leave. I'll not even smile at anybody.
Okay, so what is there for you? What do you want to become now? You stay that way. You'll stay that way. I have seen many people who have been identified as leaders based on the work that they have done. Probably not all the organization go about calculating or validating based on their interpersonal skills. They only go about work performance and they give the promotion. I have seen many people who has said like, no, I am okay with an individual contributor. I don't want a team leader or a manager.
Oh, okay.
Because they feel that comes with additional responsibility of talking
to people,
nurturing them, and things like that, which I'm not ready for. I am okay as long as I'm getting the paycheck. So these kind of people will never have any kind of a goal.
They will just come, do work and
Come,
leave.
do work, go, repeat.
Get paid and leave. Yes. அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய பேர் உங்களோட ஆஃபீஸ்லேயும் எங்கேயாவது ஒருத்தங்க வந்து ஒரு 100 பேரில் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு 2 பேராவது அந்த மாதிரி இருப்பாங்க. யாராவது அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தாங்கன்னா கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ திஸ் டாபிக் தட் வி ஹவ் டேக்கன் விச் இஸ் பர்சனாலிட்டி டெவலப்மெண்ட், கம்யூனிகேஷன், இமேஜ் கன்சல்டிங் இஸ் அ வாஸ்ட் டாபிக். அண்ட் ஐ ரியலி டோன்ட் திங்க் வி கேன் கவர் இட் இன் ஒன் செஷன். அண்ட் நிறைய இன்புட்ஸ் வந்து இதுக்கப்புறம் இந்த வீடியோ பார்த்ததுக்கப்புறம் நிறைய பேர் நமக்கும் இன்புட்ஸும் தர போகிறாங்க. ஸோ அதெல்லாமும் வச்சு நம்ம வந்து இன்னும் ஃப்யூச்சரில் ஐ எம் wanting to have a lot of interactions with you. And what are we planning for the podcast viewers in the future?
Okay, for the podcast viewers, I came real for address all the concerns. So if you have anything that has to be addressed, or if you need any guidance, you can always reach out to our Radical Image Consulting. There's a number that you can reach us, or you can write us in our Instagram page or your Facebook page or anything that you wanted to do it. We are there to go ahead and enable you to give the fullest potential of yours. So if you have any kind of a questions or a concerns that you would like to raise or ask, please reach out to Radical Image Consulting number or the website. We have our Instagram handle where you can post in your queries and we will be there to assist you. And if you need a detailed review on any kind of a scenario, please feel free to inbox us. That will be taken in the podcast, in the next podcast probably, yes.
So we have a wide range of topics to cover. So we will give it to you. நீங்கள் உங்களுக்கு வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ரியல் டைம் சினாரியோஸ் நிறைய நடந்திருக்கலாம். You can also reach out to us, either to me or either to Rosy. You can reach out to us and we would love to discuss that over a podcast. And if somebody is also volunteering to come and join us in the podcast, that will also be great.
Yes.
That will be like a real time experience as well. So I think we've had enough of the outline of what Rosy is and what Radical Image Consulting is, and we would love to hear more in the future podcast. Thank you so much for your precious time. I know you've been associated with big brands and big people, but still you've got time to go unfiltered, unapologetic, whatever that is. அது அந்த டேர்ம் வந்து உங்களுக்கு தான் என்னை விட நிறைய தெரியும். அதனால அந்த மாதிரி நீங்கள் வந்து you've become the real Rosy here and you've shared all the inputs. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for the time and looking forward to have a lot of more collaborations as well.
Thank you so very much for your time. You've been a great MC always.
Thank you. It's a pleasure when I'm always with you. It's a pleasure, and whatever that you give is what I receive, and it goes lots of love towards you, and looking forward for our next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.